Snider Panthers hope a day in South Bend will set them up for a big state championship game in Indianapolis next Saturday. Welcome to the Class 4A semi-state, the semifinals this morning. From Four Winds Field at Coveleski Stadium, it is the Snider Panthers taking on the Valparaiso Vikings. I am Brett Rump, joined by Dean Pantazi, and it's a pitcher showcase today. Two of the top left-handed arms in the state of Indiana will go at it. For Valparaiso, that's Caden Kroll, a 5-0 record, a 0.34 earned run average, just unbelievable. Through 41 innings this year, he's allowed 2 earned runs. And for the Snider Panthers, it'll be lefty Noah Hess, 6-0 on the season, and a 0.76 earned run average. He's thrown 55 innings this year and allowed just 6 earned runs. And Dean, it's kind of a shame that if you're Noah Hess, you come into this game with a 0.76 earned run average, and it's better than twice as high as the guy you're going against.
Yeah, you're on the short end of this thing, but you're right. The numbers indicate this will not be a high-scoring game. The pressure involved with the game, Brett, also indicates this might not be a high-scoring game. But one thing I've noticed here, the layout here at Four Winds Field has the fences along each foul line jutting out. So the shortstop in this game is going to have to go out and play some of those drives down the lines. Either the first baseman on the first base side, third baseman to the shortstop on the first base side, because a ball hit down the line could jut out there, and the left fielder would be a long run to try and get it.
They're ready to start 7 minutes early. A game scheduled for 11 o'clock, and at 10:53 here in South Bend, Noah Hess delivers the first pitch high and tight to Valparaiso leadoff man Gabe Bush. A 370 average on the year, 6 doubles, couple of triples, no homers, and the 1-0 is inside. And quickly Hess behind 2-0 to a speedy left-handed hitter. Bush shows bunt, takes it all the way, and that's in for a called strike. It's a Fort Wayne umpiring crew led by Jeff Lytle, who is working home plate.
Jeff is not a small guy, so they won't probably give him much guff.
The 2-1 is a little Texas leaguer that gets out of the reach of second baseman Cam Davis and drops in shallow right. Not much behind it, but just enough to get it out of the reach of Cam Davis, who is heading back, and it's a leadoff man aboard for the Vikings here in the top of the first.
He was playing that batter to swing late and over towards second base more. It gave him a long run to go to get that ball.
So with the runner on, nobody out for Trenton Gill. And Gill takes a fastball that paints the black on the outside corner for strike one. Gill, 323 average, 4 doubles, a triple, a home run. It's knocked in 17. The stretch by Hess. And a snap throw over to first. Diving back easily is Gabe Bush, who has 26 stolen bases this year. Almost all of the running for the Vikings will come from the top 2 spots. The 0-1, and that's another fastball right on the outer edge. 2 really good pitches to start off Gill, and he's got Gill in an 0-2 hole. Snider, yellow jerseys, white pants. This pitch lifted to right. Morrow will drift back, camp under it, make the catch, and the freshman records the first out of the ball game on a fly ball to right, and it'll bring up Trevor Fenters, the Valparaiso first baseman.
The dimensions here, 315 or 335 down the lines, 405 to center. A lot of green out there to patrol in the outfield for these kids.
Well, that might be a good thing for Snider, because they've got a guy that can control a few acres worth of real estate out there, and Brandon Logan. First pitch to Fenters is inside for ball 1, and then he throws that tailing fastball. Might have even been slightly off the outer edge, but got a swing and a miss from Fenters to even the count, 1-1. Again, the throw to first and the dive back by Gabe Bush. 1 out, runner at first. For the 384 hitter, Trevor Fenters, right-handed stick against the southpaw, and the pitch low and outside, 2-1. Fenters not only hitting 384 for an average, got 9 doubles, couple of triples, and a home run. And the 2-1 is just above the top of the zone, and it's a hitter's count for Fenters. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hess, the set and the pitch, and that was outside the whole way in. It is a one-out walk. And two were aboard at first and second for Valparaiso.
Now up the bat.
Boy, runs you just have to feel will be at a premium today, and Valparaiso trying to take an early lead with a runner in scoring position for cleanup hitter Caden Crowell. Crowell, a left-handed batter against the southpaw, chops it on the ground, and it will be a diving stop by second baseman Cam Davis to keep it in the infield and perhaps save a run, but it'll be an infield hit. Davis laid out and gloved it on the chopper on the right side of the infield, but it loads the bases, and Kroll will have a courtesy runner. And coming in to run for Valparaiso will be Logan Dilley. So Dilley at first. Advancing to third is Gabe Bush. To second is Trevor Fenters. And a one-out rally here in the first.
With a meeting at the mound. A meeting at the mound for Snider. I think they're trying to determine what's the play here with one out. Do we come home? Do we play the batter? Do we try to cut off the run? Like you said, Brett, runs could be at a premium here. It might be the strategy to make sure you keep that guy at third base.
So the conference is done. Snider, the home team, here in the semi-state semifinal in South Bend.
Third baseman.
They're pinching the corners, but playing at double play depth in the middle.
Adler Holtz steps into the right-handed batter's box in the first pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Snider catcher Jack Mormon. Defensively in the infield, Isaiah Snavely is at third, Landon Fry at short, Cam Davis at second, Brady Keck is at first. The 1-0, outside 2-0. Well, on the year, Hess only 10 walks through 55 innings, but he has not been sharp here in the first, already allowing a walk. Bases loaded, one out, and a 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike.
Take sign was on all the way there.
Holtz, a .388 average, a couple of home runs, 19 knocked in this year for the Valparaiso third baseman. And this pitch in the dirt, he's got a heap of trouble now with a 3-1 count on Holtz. And the bag's full, no place to put him.
No nibbling at this point. You got to come in with a pitch.
Hess goes to the stretch. And the 3-1. And that's lifted up by us. Just to our right. Foul ball makes it 3-2. He's got to do it again. Bush at third. Fenters at second. Courtesy runner at first. And the payoff. And that's hit up the middle and into center field. One run is in, rounding third and putting on the brakes is Fenters. A good throw to home by Brandon Logan. But a run across. It's a bases-loaded hit and an RBI for Adler Holtz and Valparaiso. An early 1-0 lead, top of the first inning. 3 hits already in the frame.
Max, number 4, Max Reed.
Against Noah Hess, who on the year only has given up 32 hits in 55 innings. And now we've got the first base umpire coming out to the mound, and I think they're going to discuss the footing when he goes to the stretch and whether or not he is actually legally on the rubber.
At this level, the umpires will go over and check with them on that. If this is a higher level, they're just saying you're on your own.
Yeah, that could be a balk. And the umpire trying to save that type of a call here in such a key game. Semi-state, semi-final. Snider and Valparaiso. Base is still full. And at the plate, Max Rayhom. And he takes a pitch down and in for ball. Or no, it's a strike. Strike one. A run in on 3 hits. The bags are full, just 1 out. And the pitch, that's lifted in the air. It's deep left center. Back is left fielder Trevor Jarvis. He'll have room to make the catch. Tagging at third is Fenters. He'll come in to score the second run of the frame. And Valparaiso with a couple of runs on the board for their ace. They have to feel good about jumping out early against Noah Hess and getting a lead for Caden Kroll.
If they can hold the damage to this much, it's not all bad. But it's got to stop right here.
Up the bat, number 10. The second baseman.
Nobody else advanced on the play. Sacrifice fly for Rayom, and it's DJ Malloy, the second baseman, at 393 average. First pitch in for a strike to Malloy. Hess checks the runner at second, brings the 0-1, and that's a breaking pitch. Backdoored it on the outside corner to get ahead 0-2. Two outs, two on. The 0-2. Fastball, and it just missed off the outer edge. 1-2. Malloy, a right-handed batter. And this one, he goes with it down the right field line. It's going to be a fair ball. Fielded by Morrow. And one run comes trotting in. Holtz goes first to third. And a two-out single knocks in the third run of the inning, and Valparaiso leading it 3-0 here in the top of the first inning.
Now up the bat.
The best hope Snider had was that would keep curving foul, and it didn't curve foul enough. Stayed fair.
So Holtz at third, and DJ Malloy with the base hit. That is the fourth hit of the inning for Valparaiso. And the hitter is Braden Wilcox, who takes a strike. 0-1. Runners at first and third, two outs. Top of the first, already 3 runs across for the Vikings. And this pitch lifted in the air, foul ground over toward the Snider dugout, and it will get into the seats.
About where the Snider fans are sitting.
Snider, the home team, positioned in the first base dugout. Valparaiso, the visitors, over on the third base side. The stretch and the pitch. High chopper to third. Snavely on one hop across the diamond. In time to retire Wilcox, but 8 batters bat and 3 runners score. A couple of runners left on base, but a big inning for Valparaiso to start it off. And after a half inning of play, a 3-0 Valparaiso lead over the Snider Panthers from the Class 4A semi-state in South Bend on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Snider Panthers have work to do as they come to bat in the bottom of the first inning, trailing 3-0. Snider going up against a pretty dominant left-handed pitcher in Caden Kroll. A 5-0 record, a 0.34 earned run average. He's pitched a combined 41 innings, only 16 hits, only 3 runs, just 2 of those 3 earned, 7 walks, and 77 strikeouts.
Now, you would imagine with those kind of numbers it'd be a big guy, but that's a very slight, skinny guy and not very tall out there at the mound today.
He's a southpaw that's going to face a right-handed hitter to start it off for Snider in the bottom of the first, and Brandon Logan. And the first pitch taken on the outside corner at the knees for strike 1. Snider will have Brandon Logan, Cam Davis, Landon Fry due up here in the bottom of the first inning. The 0-1, check swing. They'll appeal, and yes, they say he swung. It's an 0-2 hole for Brandon Logan.
Looks like it from up here, too, honestly.
Kroll works from the stretch with the bases empty. And the 0-2. And a slider down and in that Logan swung and missed. And a strikeout to start the Snider first.
Next up, the second baseman.
3-pitch strikeout brings up Cam Davis with 1 out. The base is empty. Davis, a 305 average, 3 doubles, no triples, no homers, 17 knocked in. A lefty-righty matchup. Kroll's pitch, swing and a miss. Some high heat.
He might be slight, but he's bringing it pretty good.
And following it up with that hard breaking pitch. Looks like a change-up down and away. That'll even the count on Davis, 1-1.
He wastes no time either. He's telling the rubber he's ready to go right away.
To the stretch, the pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch on the outside corner, and it's 1-2 on Davis. Valparaiso with black pants, green jerseys, white letters and numbers with a green cap. The 1-2, and that's fouled out of play on the first base side. Now taking a look at the rest of Snider's batting order. After Davis hitting in the 2 spot, Landon Fry, Isaiah Snavely, the cleanup hitter. Then it's catcher Jack Mormon. First baseman DH Brady Keck. Bottom third, Noah Hess, Trevor Jarvis, and Raiden Morrow. The 1-2, that's outside, 2-2.
Mixes up his pitches nicely. I mean, he comes with the heat, he comes with the breaking stuff, he then comes with the in-the-middle stuff. Nice little delivery.
The 2-2. Outside, it's gone the distance on Davis. Snider needs base runners. They trail it 3-0, batting in the bottom of the first. Snider comes in with a 24-6 record. That includes a perfect 14-0 in Summit Athletic Conference play, while Valparaiso 23-5 under their head coach Todd Evans. Here's the payoff, and that is a called strike 3 at the knees. Davis thought it was low, but it's a called strike 3, and it's back-to-back strikeouts to start the Snider first for Caden Kroll.
5, Landon Fry.
Landon Fry, 468 average, leading Snider with 12 doubles, 4 triples, and a couple of homers. And he takes a curveball that is in for a strike. 0-1.
He's got Snider guessing right now.
The stretch. Change up, low and away. Fry laid off, and it evens the count 1-1.
He even asked where it was because he's high-low. He looked back at Jeff Lytle and said, where was it? So he's point of reference for pitches that are on the way.
The 1-1 pitch to Fry. And he rips it down the right field line, but it will slice foul into the berm down the right field line. Coveleski Stadium, if you have not been for a while, and now, of course, known as Four Winds Field at Coveleski Stadium, but they have done a wonderful job developing not only the ballpark itself, but all around the ballpark. 1-2. And he pulls that one right into the fencing in front of the Valparaiso dugout on the third base side.
The advantage they had here is they had more land to work with than we had to work with when they built Parkview Field downtown. And it shows they've had chances and opportunities to fix this park and make it better.
Yeah, you extend a full city block every direction. Here's the pitch, and it's chopped to third on one hop. Holtz the throw across the diamond, and it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the first inning. Couple of strikeouts for Kroll. And after one, Valparaiso, a 3-0 advantage over the Snider Panthers. It's the Class 4A semi-state in South Bend on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. High school baseball, and we're glad you have found us for the semi-state semifinal between the Snider Panthers and the Valparaiso Vikings. The winner will advance to tonight's semi-state championship, and Snider trails it 3-0 as we start the second. It's number 9 hitter Matt Savanich, 309 hitter. He takes a curveball for a strike, and then this pitch in the dirt to even it up 1-1.
Snider's got to limit damage here from here on in. They can't fall further behind here.
Hess brings a curveball that drops in for a strike, and it's 1-2 as Valparaiso will turn the lineup over on the next batter. Swing and a foul tip hung on to by Mormon, and that is Noah Hess's first strikeout for the first out in the top of the second.
Now up to bat, the center fielder, number 1, Gabe Bush.
Gabe Bush got things started in that 3-run first for Valparaiso. Little Texas leaguer that flared into right field. The left-handed batter steps in, and the southpaw delivers, and a curveball's in for a strike, 0-1. Seems like Hess is relying on that curveball a little bit more here in the second. Throws another one, and this one on the outside corner, and he's ahead of Bush 0-2. The windup and the pitch. And he threw it again and caught the outside corner. A 3-pitch strikeout caught Gabe Bush looking. And there's quickly 2 away with back-to-back Ks.
He's trying to see what works right now. And right now with these first 2 batters, he's kind of found a little bit of a groove.
So the batter will be Trenton Gill, who takes a pitch down and away. That's the senior left-hander. Bring in the 1-0, and that's down the line at third and foul. Isaiah Snavely down there at third base, watched it go by. Count even 1-1. And a foul tip off the glove of Mormon, and Hess ahead 1-2 against the Viking shortstop. Flew out to right field his first time up. 1-2. High and outside, 2-2. Hess also working quickly, and the curveball is down and in, and he's gone the distance on Gill. 2 outs, bases empty. We're in the top of the second with Valparaiso leading it 3-0. Hess confirms the sign and the payoff on its way, and that is rip foul into the bullpen down the left field line. Kind of hung that 3-2 curveball.
And he's thinking about that right now as he walks behind the mound. Okay, we don't want to throw that one again.
Got away with one. Trenton Gill steps back in. The left-hander brings the pitch, and it's low and outside. That's ball 4. That's the second walk allowed by Hess.
The first baseman, number 12, Trevor Fenton.
And a 2-out base runner for Valparaiso in the top of the second. Made of their order with number 3 hitter Trevor Fenters. Stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Fenters hitting .384 this year. Walked and scored in the first. The pitch. High in the air. Right field line. Foul territory. Long run. And the freshman Morrow got there, but he actually overran it, and it drops over his head in the bullpen area. And it's a long foul ball.
You could tell the Snider Panthers have scouted this field because they know they have a lot more real estate down each line and in each foul territory to work with.
Yeah, there's a lot more here than what you even have at Parkview Field, which at the bullpen area at Parkview Field, the seats angle toward the left field line. Here, it's actually almost a 90-degree cutout, so there is a lot of space in the bullpen area. The 0-1. Curveball, and it's just inside. A little bit of a flinch from Jeff Lytle, our home plate umpire, but it is 1-1 on Fenters with Gill still at first. And the pitch in the knees on the inside corner, a called strike, 1-2.
That real estate excess that we talked about also extends behind home plate. There's a lot of room behind there, too.
The stretch and a throw to first.
Not a lob, really.
Yeah. I
know you're there.
He made that step and then actually kind of just went into slow motion on the throw. Runner goes. Ball is in the air, right field, fairly deep. Drifting back is Morrow, and he will reach up and make the catch 2 steps in front of the warning track. So no runs. They do get a base runner without a hit and 1 runner left on base. To the bottom of the second we go with Valparaiso leading at 3-0 over the Snider Panthers in the Class 3A semi-state semifinal on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Bottom of the second inning in the semi-state semifinal between Valparaiso and Snider, and the Vikings a 3 spot in the top of the first have a 3-0 lead. Snider sends up Isaiah Snavely, Jack Mormon, and Brady Keck, hitters 4, 5, and 6 to face Caden Kroll, the left-hander for Valparaiso. And this kid came in with quite the reputation and a heck of a season as far as the statistics. 5-0 record and a 0.34 earned run average. And I think already after 3 batters, we can see why.
Yeah, he's very efficient. Now, Hess did his job in the top of this inning. After that very rough first, he was very efficient in that inning and got those guys down. Now it's up to the Snider Bats to try somehow to figure out what this Kroll kid is throwing, because he's doing a pretty good job.
Up first,
Snavely, just a sophomore third baseman for Snider. It's a team that's loaded with seniors, but Snavely in that cleanup spot has hit .370 this year with 8 doubles, 4 triples, and 3 home runs. Tough part for Snavely is a left-handed stick against the southpaw on the mound. Kroll again from the stretch, and a swing and a miss. He pulled the string on a breaking ball. Had Snavely way out in front.
He comes straight over and in, so if he were throwing it like sidewinder, this would really be tough on the left-handed batter.
Long look in to get the sign. And the 0-1. That breaks off the plate outside, evens it up. 1-1 on Snavely. Pitch, it's outside, 2-1. Defensively, the infield third to first, Adler, Holtz, Trent Gill at short, DJ Malloy is the second baseman, Trevor Fenters is at first. Max Rayome does the catching for Kroll. We'll give you the Valparaiso outfield in a moment. The 2-1 pitch, and that's fouled straight back. It's 2-2. Left field, Nate Simpson. Center fielder is Gabe Bush, and Matt Sivanich is out in right.
And defensively, they're playing it straight away. I mean, all the way around, all 7 position players out there.
The 2-2, breaking pitch, fouled out of play by Snavely. Keeps the at-bat alive. Still 2-2. The pitch out of play down the left field line. A little tardy on that fastball.
Sort of fought it off a little bit too. It's kind of inside, and he fought it off to the left side, out of play.
Snider fans in their black and gold seated below us and to our right, to our left, the green and white of Valparaiso. The 2-2, a little hesitation on the leg lift to throw off the timing by Kroll, but Snavely stays right in there and fouls it off. It stays 2-2, and this becoming a lengthy at-bat for the Snider sophomore. Long look in to get a sign. Finally.
I'm glad he stepped out.
Yeah.
That was a little too long to wait.
Well, and he works from the stretch, which means there's a pause before he actually delivers the pitch. Now he's got his sign, the stretch, and again the 2-2. Called strike 3, fastball at the knees. Showed him a little bit of everything, but retired him with the old number 1, the fastball, bottom of the zone. It's the third strikeout for Kroll, and the first out for the Panthers in the bottom of the second. Brings up catcher Jack Mormon, right-handed hitter. Mormon a .370 average on the season, couple of doubles, no triples, no homers. The pitch, chopped right side down the first base line. It stays fair right to the bag where it's fielded by Fenters as he steps on the bag, and there's 2 away on the first base unassisted.
Now up to bat, the first baseman, number 9.
Brady Keck, first baseman, DH, designated as both, which basically means if he gets replaced at first, he can still stay in the lineup as the designated hitter from that point forward. Keck, a right-handed hitter, batting with the bases empty and 2 outs. Kroll's pitch, ripped on the ground to third, fielded by Holtz. His throw across the diamond, a short hop, but fielded by Fenters, the first baseman, and a 5-3 putout. It's a 1-2-3, bottom of the second. Still a 3-0 Valparaiso lead over the Snider Panthers in the semi-state semifinal here in South Bend on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. In regional championship games last week, Valparaiso advanced with a 5-0 win over Crown Point. If you want to guess who had the shutout, I'll give you one guess. But the Spartans, or the Panthers, defeated the Homestead Spartans 9-1, and it was Noah Hess pitching the Panthers to the win in the Carroll Regional. We've got a 3-0 Valparaiso lead as we move to the third inning. Hess delivers the first pitch to to Caden Kroll. It's a pitcher versus pitcher matchup, and it is taken for ball one. Kroll, a base hit his first time up, and that pitch way down and outside.
Either it is a solidarity thing for Valparaiso or a bow to their Viking name, but they are all blonde. I don't know if you haven't noticed that.
Inside, ball three.
I'll guarantee you they're probably bottle blondes, but they're blondes.
I was going to say, we saw that last week with the Homestead Spartans. A solidarity thing. They all went blonde for the postseason, and it's 4-pitch walk to start the third as Kroll will reach first, and the courtesy runner will come on. Logan Dilley
Now up to bat, the third
will run. And that doesn't mean Kroll's not a great athlete, because just by looking at him, I would imagine he can probably run the bases. But in high school baseball, pitchers and catchers have a courtesy runner.
Courtesy running for the Vikings, number 17, Logan Dilley.
So Logan Dilley takes the spot at first. Nobody out. We're in the third with Valparaiso leading at 3-0.
Kind of up to us to hold the fort right here, Brett.
And the pitch to Adler Holtz is chopped foul right at the plate. Yeah, really important. And in fact, 3 of the first 4 batters of the game were run-scoring Vikings. And there's a little, excuse me, swing into left field. He kind of just reached out, half speed, flung the bat through, and hit a line drive to left for a base hit. So you've got 2 aboard, nobody out.
Number 4,
second hit of the game for Holtz. This is where it gets critical. Now Snider's got to be conscious of the bunt. You've got to think with Kroll on the mound, Valparaiso thinks every run from this point forward is golden.
And might be gravy, actually.
I mean, he's given up 3 runs all year long, and he's got a 3-run lead. This one chopped wide of third and foul. 0-1 on Holtz, who singled his first time up. Or rather, Rayon, who hit a sacrifice fly his first time up. Yeah, Holtz down at first base, 2 for 2 now in the game.
Snider pinching the corners.
The 0-1, high in the air, right field. Morrow camping under it. Takes a couple of steps in, and the ball drops in front of him. Just misjudged it, and the ball dropped about 3 feet right in front of Morrow, and he tried to reach for it, couldn't get it.
Now up to bat, number 10.
And a defensive miscue by the Snider Panthers goes as a hit for Rayon, but now the bases are full. There's nobody out, and a 3-0 Valparaiso lead. We're going to have a trip to the mound for the Snider pitching coach. Of course, that means all of the infielders are going to congregate. Almost have to bring the infield in at this point.
Again, they're out there not only to give him a little bit of time to, of course, gather himself, but figure out where they're going with it.
And they, by the way, they did change that to an error out in right field. So
I always thought you had to touch the ball.
Well, I'm wondering if, I don't know if they have a replay. Maybe they got a chance to see it. Maybe when he reached forward, maybe he got a little glove on it.
So that goes E9, huh?
It isn't necessarily a golden rule that you have to touch it. Like, for instance, a ground ball goes right through your legs, doesn't have to be touched. And in that case, they just felt like the play should have been made, and quite honestly, it should have been. First pitch to DJ Malloy is a little outside for ball 1. No place to put him.
The last person you have to tell that is Morrow out in right field.
Bags are full, and the 1-0 pitch is fouled straight back. It's 1-1 on Malloy, who singled in the first. Valparaiso the advantage in the hit column, 5-0. They lead at 3-0, looking to blow it open here in the third. And the pitch, a called strike on the outside corner, and Hess ahead 1-2. Malloy, a .393 average. Right-handed stick. Hess with the 1-2 pitch. Change up away, and he got a swing and a miss out of Malloy. That is a huge strikeout for Noah Hess. His third of the game.
Drayton Wilcox.
Now double play gets you out of it.
Yep. And you've got the number 8 hitter, Drayton Wilcox. Grounded out to third his first time up, and the pitch, and he went change up away and got a swing and a miss from Wilcox.
And with that in mind, Snider has backed up the first and third baseman back to a little bit more of a depth where the double play could be a consideration.
Yeah, the middle infielders playing back at double play depth. Snider infield with Snavely at third, Landon Fry at short, Cam Davis at second, Brady Keck at first. Hoping to get out of this inning. Bags are full, 1 out. The pitch in there for a strike, and it's 0-2 on Wilcox.
Now, if it ends up going to one of the corner infielders, they will come home. They will try to cut off the play at the plate with the force at the plate.
Hess gets the sign and the 0-2. And that's lifted left field, not very deep. Jarvis makes the catch. Nobody is tagging. Not deep enough to produce a run, and another big out for the Panthers. Two-way. Valparaiso still with the bases loaded, and the number 9 hitter stepping up to the plate.
Boyce, the Valparaiso third base coach is having a very one-way conversation with his runner at third base.
A lot of times those decisions on taking risk are determined by where you're at in your batting order, and this is Savanich batting from the left side, and the pitch goes right through Mormon. It is, he can't find it. It's back behind home, and it's going to produce a run. I don't know, Dean. I thought that might have been a pass ball. I'm not sure if it actually skipped in. Mormon went down like he was going to block it, but then it just ricocheted off the glove.
Yeah, it didn't take a true hop off the dirt.
Up the bat.
So a run comes in. 2 outs, a 1-0 count on the batter. Runners at second and third, and the pitch. And that's going to be looped into left center, and it will drop. A 2-out hit. 2 runs are going to come in to score. And the number 9 hitter for Valparaiso comes through with 2 outs in the third, and the lead now 6-0. Vikings over the Panthers. Just a little flare that dropped into shallow left center. Kind of no man's land, and now just a runner at first. 3 runs in for the top of the order. And another ball that gets off of Mormon's glove. And that will allow Savanich to get down to second base, get into scoring position with Gabe Bush at the plate. Bush 1 for 2, a single to start the game, and a strikeout in the second. Lefty-lefty matchup against Noah Hess. The pitch, low and outside, 2-0. Six runs on 6 hits for Valparaiso. And that one bounces. 3-0. Well, you got to feel this is a very big challenge for Snider going up against a pitcher with the credentials of Caden Kroll, who's given up only 3 runs through 8 appearances this year. The pitch, taking all the way. It's a strike, 3-1. Top of the third, 2 outs, runner at second. 3-1 count on Bush, and he lifts it high in the air. Foul ground, first base side. A lot of room over his Keck. He gives it a look, and it goes off the... goes into the seats. A couple of rows deep. So it is 3-2 now on Bush. Savanich, the runner, out at second. 2 outs. Valparaiso batting, top of the third, and the payoff pitch. Big breaking ball, and that is ball 4. Just didn't break enough to get to the zone. Stayed high and inside. Right on the border. And that another walk issued by Hess, and we're going to have a pitching change. Runners at first and second, and it was not Noah Hess's day. With 2 outs here in the third, Snider will call on the bullpen.
I'll tell you, the guy who feels the worst of anybody in that Snider dugout or in that Snider lineup is right fielder Morrow, because without his error, this inning is over, and maybe 2 of those runs don't score.
It's been a heck of a year for Hess. Came in with a 6-0 record and a 0.76 earned run average, but yeah, all the runs scored this inning are unearned. And it all came down to ruling that fly ball to right as an error. Because after that error,
number 13,
you had Malloy and Wilcox out with a strikeout and a fly out, and that would have ended the inning. So anything that scored after that would have been unearned. So all 3 runs here in the third unearned for Valparaiso, and it's going to be William Meeks who takes the mound out of the bullpen for the Snider Panthers. Trailing 6-0. We're in the top of the third inning with 2 outs.
I think this is really going to take whatever pressure is even left off Kroll on the mound for Valparaiso. This pressure is even lessened now. That lead is now 6-0 instead of the 3-0 that it started this inning with.
Yeah, it's kind of tough when a guy's given up 3 runs all year long through 41 innings, and you now have 5 innings to try to score 6, and that's just to get it tied, and that's if Meeks can shut the door here on this Valparaiso third inning.
This is the time when it's very tough for a coach, because if they get the third out, you got to sit your kids down in the dugout between innings and say, we are not out of this. Keep your heads in the game. Very tough to do that sometimes.
So Meeks comes on, 2.68 earned run average this year. It's 2-0.
So he knows what to do with it out there.
He's thrown 34 innings, 31 hits, 21 runs, 13 of them earned. And the first pitch is popped in the air by Trenton Gill, and it will go back into the seats behind home.
Mormon is having a little trouble picking up those balls. He was looking for that one. He wasn't sure where it was.
Pitch is outside. Throw snap down to second behind the runner, and they almost caught him sleeping.
And then Mormon with a heads-up play there. He might have had a little trouble tracking that one ball. But, boy, that was a nice heads-up play down there, and they almost got the guy at second base.
The pitch in the air, left center, fairly well hit. Jarvis, the left fielder, back on it. He'll cover the gap. He'll make the catch. And finally, the side is retired. 3 runs come across on 3 hits and a couple of runners left on base. Valparaiso has opened up a 6-0 lead on the Snider Panthers as we head to the bottom of the third next. It's a semi-state semifinal from South Bend on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Snider comes to bat in the bottom of the third inning, a 7-inning contest in high school baseball, and Snider trails 6-0 to Valparaiso. And it is not just a hill to climb, it's a mountain.
Especially when you haven't put a man on base already. They're 6 up and 6 down in this game so far as we enter the third inning, and I don't think they've had a ball out of the infield, have they?
Taking a look, no, they have not. They've had 3 strikeouts and 3 groundouts so far. It's going to be the bottom third, and it starts with today's starting pitcher for Snider, Noah Hess, and I'm sure he would like to immediately help himself at the plate. Of course, half the runs scored by Valparaiso were unearned. And the first pitch delivered by Caden Kroll. The lefty versus lefty matchup is down a little below the zone, 1-0. The pitch, that's low and away, 2-0. Well, Kroll only 7 walks in 41 innings. The 2-0. And that's low, 3-0. That comes out to just a tad over a walk per 7 innings. That's pretty darn good for high school baseball. Especially when you look at the strikeout to walk ratio, it's 11-1. The 3-0, low and outside, a 4-pitch walk. Hess is aboard.
For Snider's purposes, you ought to keep talking about that. Maybe he'll walk a few more.
How good a control he's got.
Number 10.
He just doesn't walk anybody.
He's got a radar control. Keep talking.
Snider has a base runner aboard. And it brings up Trevor Jarvis, right-handed hitter. First pitch is high and outside.
5 straight balls.
Kroll having trouble finding the zone, and part of it might be because it was a long top of the 3rd inning. The 1-0, and that's in there on the inside corner for a called strike, 1-1.
Well, call sign was on that one. I'll just take that one as an automatic.
Throw to first, a weak toss. Easily back is the base runner, Noah Hess. The stretch and the 1-1. That's a fastball that paints the black of the inner edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jarvis.
Hess isn't going to take a very long lead off there because you're down 6-0. You're not going to take any chances.
Another throw to first. Just as the ball gets loose from the Snider bullpen, we almost had baseballs crisscrossing over on the first base side. Well, yeah, and it's kind of curious, Kroll throwing over there. Hess certainly not a big base stealing threat. He's only stolen 4 bases all year, and it's a 6-0 game. Sometimes, though, as a pitcher, you use that when you're not comfortable with the pitch call after thinking about it for a second. Here comes the pitch, and it's chopped foul, and that got in on the feet of Jarvis. He kind of just had to hack it almost while stepping away. Stays alive, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, outside, 2-2.
I think you have to talk a little bit more about his control.
After Jarvis, it'll be freshman right fielder Raiden Morrow, the number 9 hitter for Snider. Here comes the pitch, and a swing and a miss. And it is strikeout number 4 for Caden Kroll.
For the Panthers, right fielder number 14, Raiden Morrow.
Morrow, a left-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher. Hess the lead off first, and the delivery. In for a strike, 0-1. Well, Morrow actually kind of joined the Panthers mid-season. Swing and a miss. He's in an 0-2 hole. And as a result, Max Preps, the most reliable source for statistics, doesn't even have him listed on the roster. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout, a swing and a miss. And Morrow goes down and 3 fastballs.
Now up, the center fielder, number 4.
Strikeout number 5 for Caden Kroll, the Valparaiso lefty. And it's back to the top of the order, Brandon Logan. Logan with 7 homers this year. And a curveball's in tight for ball 1 on Logan, who was a strikeout victim to start the game in the bottom of the first for Snider. Hess the lead off first, and the 1-0. Way up high. 2-0. Logan is going to be very comfortable in this city in the future. He'll be attending Notre Dame, playing football and baseball. And he lifts that one foul and out of play.
Along that line, you got to wonder if Brandon Logan isn't going to draw some draft attention. Because I looked at some of the drafts. He's the 163rd ranked player in the draft, and that's only about 4 rounds in. So he'll look there.
That ball's hit hard toward the right field corner. It is slicing. It is foul.
You can tell it was foul because Logan was pulling up in a little trot to first base. Nobody had a better look at it than him.
Yeah, and it ended up slicing far enough to get out of play. So a long strike, and Logan back in the batter's box with a 2-2 count. 2 outs, 1 runner on. Snider trailing at 6-0 to Valparaiso, batting bottom of the 3rd. The stretch, the 2-2. And again, he lifts it into foul ground down the right field side.
Well, for a day that started out cloudy and at least in Fort Wayne rainy, sun's out now, Brett.
Yep, we've got some sunshine here in South Bend. I'm sure that makes everybody listening to us in Fort Wayne just wish they were spending the day in South Bend, Indiana.
This is coming.
It is coming.
It'll get there later.
We'll bring it back later. And another one lined right field corner, and this one is just foul. And there's not a lot of room to keep it in play and put it in foul territory that deep down the right field line, and Brandon Logan was able to do it.
Well, what he did, he knew he had a chance at that one because he was going hard to first base, and he didn't start slowing up until he made the turn and saw the obvious that he'd be going back for another pitch.
Well, this is like one of those races because you've got Hess at first with Logan at the plate. I'm not sure if 4 bases if Logan couldn't maybe catch him. And that's not a knock on Hess. And that's how fast Logan is.
They've got to be careful.
Here's the pitch, and that's chopped foul right into the third base dugout.
Now, that would be a nice problem for Snider to have, which means they would have put a ball in play here. But Logan's a smart enough guy to know, okay, that's a guy I've got to watch out for as I'm rounding first. How far can I go?
The outfield has shifted way over to right. Left fielder Nate Simpson playing way over in left center. Here's the pitch. And it is foul, and he pulled it right past his third base coach, Josh Klinkenbeard.
I'll tell you what, if that had stayed fair, I'd have given Brandon Logan a shot at a triple because that left fielder is way off the third base line.
Yeah, the center fielder shifted way over toward right center. The right fielder playing over toward the line, and nobody out and left. Boy, and I'm surprised he threw that pitch, but it's fouled out of play.
Well, look at every ball that Logan has hit, except for that one that just went that way, has gone down the right field line. So this shift makes sense.
That was a slow curveball, kind of in the upper part of the zone. That's the type of pitch he could pull deep down the left field line. Still 2-2 on Logan as he has battled in this at bat with 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. 6-0 Valparaiso the lead. The stretch by Kroll and the 2-2. And that's a called third strike on the outside corner. Snider gets a leadoff man aboard, but they strand him at first. As we head to the 4th, it is all Valparaiso here in the semi-state semifinal, with the Vikings leading at 6-0 over the Snider Panthers on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. To the 4th inning we go. It's Valparaiso that has a 6-0 lead over the Snider Panthers. Panthers hitless through the first 3, while Valparaiso has their 6 runs on 6 hits, and William Meeks begins his first full inning out of the Snider bullpen in relief of Panther starter Noah Hess. And he'll face hitters 3, 4, and 5, starting with Trevor Fenters. And the first pitch is inside for ball 1. Meeks, a junior right-hander. Full windup with the bases empty. And that pitch is on the outside corner, called a strike to even it up 1-1 on Fenters, who walked and scored in the first and flew out to right. He is officially 0 for 1. The pitch, slow breaking pitch, a swing and a miss from Fenters, and Meeks is ahead 1-2. Looking at the sign and the 1-2 pitch. Little cutter that breaks off the outside corner, 2-2. The pitch is on its way, and it's low, 3-2. Caden Kroll, the Valparaiso pitcher, on deck with the 3-2 on its way, and it's low and outside, ball 4. It's a walk to start the Valparaiso 4th.
Now up to bat number 7, the pitcher, Caden Kroll.
So Kroll will step in with a runner on and nobody out in the fourth. Coming off a shutout against Crown Point for the regional championship. Putting up nothing but zero so far here in the semi-state semifinal. And the first pitch is inside for ball one. You wonder if Kroll could be pulled in this game to try to save him for innings tonight.
I would think you go another inning with him for sure, and that really becomes a consideration if Valpo can add to the lead here.
The 1-0 is up high. It's 2-0 now on Kroll. Fenters the lead off first, and the 2-0 pitch. Low and outside, 3-0.
There's still a lot of baseball to be played, so that would be taking a chance at this point.
Well, and I haven't looked ahead to see who the number 2 is for Valparaiso. And a 4-pitch walk for Kroll. The first two are aboard. And the Valparaiso fourth for Adler Holtz.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher, number 17, Logan Dilly.
Logan Dilly, the courtesy runner, getting a workout today because Kroll has reached base all 3 times. A single, a walk, and now a walk here in the fourth. So,
tell you, I've got 6 walks that Snider has given up on the mound here, and we're going to have a pitching change here, and that hasn't helped their cause.
Yep, they will go to the third pitcher of the day. And making the trot in, it'll be Tavis Rowe. Actually, what's going to happen, Tavis Rowe is going to go to the infield. It's going to be Landon Fry moving in from shortstop. Rowe will probably go to second, and Cam Davis will shift over to short as Landon Fry takes over, the senior right-hander. On the season has thrown 29 2/3 innings, 22 hits, 11 runs, only 5 of them earned. He's got a 1.18 earned run average. Fry also with a 6-0 record. You had to give Snider a
number 5,
number 1 tag and a number 2 tag. Fry would almost be a 1B for the Snider Panthers. And I think the only reason he didn't come in the middle of the inning last inning was they would have had to bring him in without any kind of warm-up or anything. And here they are now, an inning later, forced to go to Fry with the first 2 on board.
True story.
And a 6-0 game. Valparaiso leads it. 3 runs in the first kind of set the tone. They added 3 more in the third. Aided by a missed fly ball out and right. Had a chance to go to the press conference with Josh Van Meter earlier this week, talking about PSM baseball and the travel program they're starting in partnership with Fort Wayne Tin Caps. And Josh said one of his goals is to get Fort Wayne teams back to Indy, winning state titles. The first pitch, called a ball after the right arm went halfway up. 1-0. Holtz waits, Fry delivers, and it's in the air to center. Back is Logan, and on the run he reaches up and makes the catch short of the warning track, and tagging at second, heading to third is Trevor Fenters. A sacrifice fly for Holtz. Now runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Now to bat, number 4
for Max Rayon.
The pitcher, Max Reed.
Sacrifice fly knocked in a run back in the first. I think they pronounced the name as Reem, which is fine with me. It's got too many vowels to begin with. The stretch, the pitch, and it's a little bat handle flare, shallow center, and that will drop in front of Logan. The 7th hit of the game for the Valparaiso Vikings, and that will knock in another run as Trevor Fenders trots in from third.
DJ Malloy.
Heading to second is Dilly. And Ream safe at first. 7-0. As Valparaiso tacks on the extra point here in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch to DJ Malloy, a breaking pitch taken for a strike. Now the stretch by Fry in the 0-1. Slow breaking ball fouled up over our heads. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. 7 runs, 7 hits for Valparaiso. No runs, no hits in this game for Snider. This one grounded to short. Davis scoops it over to Rowe. Throw to first. Not in time. A good scoop by Hess to keep that ball in front of him on a ball that bounced on the relay. And that will keep the runner at third. As Dilly, the courtesy runner, now 90 feet away from adding another. But there's 2 outs. Malloy safe on the fielder's choice. And it's Drayden Wilcox. Wilcox, a right-handed batter with a .321 average, 0 for 2 in the game. Ground out to third and a fly ball to left. Fry goes to the stretch. And the pitch, fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. 1 run is already in. 7-0. Valparaiso with the lead, batting top of the 4th. Fry steps off. Malloy at first. Dilly at third. And the pitch, grounded to short. Davis, the short way to second, and that will retire the Vikings here in the top of the 4th inning, but another run scores. Every one just makes that mountain that much taller for the Snider Panthers to climb. They now trail it 7-0 halfway through. It's a semi-state semifinal as the Snider Panthers take on the Valparaiso Vikings on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Well, with a school that has such a great tradition in football, maybe having a 7-0 score is not the worst thing for Snider, because now they got to find a way to get a late touchdown drive. They trail it to the Valparaiso Vikings, and they'll have hitters 2, 3, and 4 up to face the dominant left-hander, Caden Kroll, who has yet to allow a hit in this ballgame.
Cam Davis.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Davis 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Kroll, the left-hander, goes to the set and brings the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Cam Davis, Landon Fry, and Isaiah Snavely, the 3 due up for Snider as they try to battle back. The 0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2 hole for Davis. Senior second baseman came in hitting .305. Slightly open stance from the right-handed batter's box. The southpaw brings it, and that was headed our way. That net got in the way.
I don't have a problem with that.
The 0-2. Inside, 1-2.
You know, Kroll has not thrown a lot of pitches, so they could probably let him go another inning or so before worrying about the pitch count type of thing. And then, you know, he'd have pitches left to use tonight.
Looking for the sign. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball high and away, and Davis couldn't get it. Second time Davis has been retired via the strikeout. And that is strikeout number 7 in the game for Kroll. One out, base is empty for Landon Fry, hitting in the 3 spot on Josh Klinkenberg's lineup card. And the pitch, breaking ball inside for ball 1.
His walk, the lone walk he has given up in this game, is Snider's only base runner to this point.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Fastball that tailed away from Fry, and he couldn't catch it.
Well, our conversation on the way here, you talked about this kid being a problem for Snider, and he has been all of that.
468 average for Fry this year, and a swing and a miss. And so, this is really kind of power against power. Top hitter in the Snider lineup against one of the state's best pitchers in Kroll. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes for Fry. Kroll gets the sign, and the 1-2 pitch, and that's chopped foul. First base side. Not exactly sure why Ream was stopping and looking at it, because the ball had come off the grass and was really rolling more toward fair territory. Clearly was foul. Eventually he picks it up. It's still 1 ball, 2 strikes on Fry. Right-handed hitter. Fry, a heck of a multi-sport athlete. He was a solid football player for the Panthers under Coach Kurt Tippmann in the fall. Here comes the 1-2. In the air, right field. Over toward the line, and running over and making the catch is Matt Savanich, the right fielder, and that's 2 away. Still, Snider without a hit.
The first time the ball has left the infield all day off a Snider bat.
Cleanup hitter Isaiah Snavely. The sophomore struck out looking in the second. He had a good at bat. He battled with 2 strikes, fouled a number of pitches off, but eventually got caught looking. Lefty-lefty matchup, and the pitch, and he got around late. Put it right off the facing of the Valparaiso dugout on the third base side. It's 0-1 on Snavely. Snavely already getting a lot of looks from Division I colleges. Low and away, evens the count, 1-1. From what I was told last summer was when he really blipped on the radar. Had a very good summer last year. He's continued it here in the spring with his high school program. In the dirt, 2-1. Snavely, second on the team with 3 home runs behind team leader Brandon Logan. The 2-1 pitch, and he got it in on the hands and fouled it straight back into the netting. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. 7-0 Valparaiso. Snider batting. 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. The strikeouts keep racking up. Now 8 of them through 4 innings for Caden Kroll, and a 1-2-3-4 means Snider has gone just 1 over the minimum, and the only base runner via a 3rd inning walk. Vikings lead at 7-0. We head to the 5th inning. Coming up next, this is high school baseball, the Class 4A semi-state semifinal from South Bend on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. With our studio producer Adam Lundy and Talking Sports producer DC Hendricks in the seats just below us and to the right. I am Brett Rump with Dean Pantazi. We head to the 5th inning here in South Bend. And Snider trails Valparaiso 7-0. It is Landon Fry on the bump facing number 9 hitter Matt Savanich. And the first pitch is ball 1. Second pitch just flies past Mormon, and it's 2-0.
The only positive I can take out of what we've seen here today so far, Brett, is if this weather is headed to Fort Wayne, the rest of the day is going to be very, very nice.
Still a little bit overcast, but the sun is breaking through here in South Bend.
First up for Valpo.
The stretch, the pitch, outside ball 3. Savanich is 1 for 2. He had a hit and a walk, or hit and a strikeout. Here's the pitch, and that's high and outside. It's a 4-pitch walk to start things here in the 5th, with Valparaiso already leading at 7-0. Vikings 7 runs, 7 hits. Panthers scoreless, no hit so far through the first 4.
And just 1 base runner.
Just back to the top of the order, and Gabe Bush batting from the left side against the right-handed senior hurler. And Fry goes to the stretch and the pitch. That one is a fastball in the outside corner, strike one. Too many walks by the Snider pitchers today. I believe that's 7. And this one opposite way into shallow left, but playing in and in the right spot. Trevor Jarvis will make the catch. Just reached out and slapped it into left, but Jarvis against the left-handed hitter wasn't very deep. And that's one out in the 5th.
Ball also stayed up. It sort of took off a little bit. Had that dropped a little bit, that would have been trouble.
One out, a runner on for Trenton Gill. Fry, a long set. The pitch. And a little check swing. I thought it was foul tip, but it goes past Mormon off the glove. And heading to second base is Savanich. And they're going to ask about it. They could ask up here because I don't know, Dean. I thought I heard a little bit of a clip off the bat.
Well, I'm going to trust our friend Jeff Lytle that he made the call right. Let's see what they say.
Well, fans behind home are saying it's a foul ball.
They're closer to it than we are.
All 4 umpires are meeting right now. And they're going to say that it's simply a pass ball. And so the runner will be at second.
So do we give Jeff on his report card after the game a good mark for that one?
It's 0-1 on Gill. Fastball a little upstairs, 1-1. Savanich in scoring position, 1 out. We're in the 5th. The stretch, the 1-1 on the outside corner at the knees. Ball and 2 strikes on Gill. Gill, one of the few Vikings without a hit. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts, a walk in between. And that breaking pitch breaks down and away. It's even, 2-2 on Gill. Fry, the set, check the runner at second, and the pitch. Slow breaking ball, and that's in the air. Fairly deep left field. Jarvis back at the warning track. He reaches up and makes the grab. Runner will stay put. Savanich goes back to second.
For the Vikings, number 12,
there's 2 away for Trevor Fenters. Fenters, couple of walks, scored both times. Sandwiched around a fly ball to right. 384 average, 1 homer, 27 knocked in. And a fastball in the outside corner is strike 1. 7-0 lead for Valparaiso. Fastball up high, evens it 1-1 on Fenters. Right-handed batter against the senior right-hander, and a slow breaking pitch popped in the air down the right field line behind first. Back is first baseman Noah Hess. He'll reach up, make the catch, and the side is retired. So after a leadoff walk, Fry is able to put down the Vikings 1-2-3 and put a 0 on the board in the top of the 5th. 1 runner left on base as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Time running out on the Snider Panthers. They trail Valparaiso 7-0 in a semi-state semifinal from South Bend, Indiana on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Well, so far Snider dominated 7-0 at the hands of the Valparaiso Vikings, and primarily left-handed pitcher Caden Kroll, who will start the bottom of the 5th inning without allowing a run or a base hit. Kroll was dominant last week against Crown Point, pitching the Vikings to a 5-0 win in the regional, and he's kind of followed suit here. And you know, this would be kind of a tough decision. You got a kid throwing a no-hitter, but you'd like to save as many pitches as possible for tonight. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Westfield Goshen, which is scheduled to start at about 2 o'clock. So Snider bats with Jack Moorman in the right-handed batter's box. A check swing. Yes, he offered. It's 0-1 on Moorman, who grounded out to first his only time up. The 0-1, and that's slapped the right side of the infield to second baseman DJ Malloy. Throw to first, retires Moorman, 1 out in the 5th.
Now up to bat number 9.
To accentuate the domination that Kroll has had on the mound, Snider not only has no hits, they have 1 ball out of the infield.
Strikeouts and groundouts. 8 Ks for Kroll. With 1 out, the base is empty. Brady Keck goes after the first pitch. High in the air behind home, and it will get, well, not quite to the seats. But catcher Max Ream had a slow jump on it, and so it lands right at the base of the wall, right behind home.
He's probably used to playing on fields that don't quite have that much real estate behind home plate.
0-1 on Keck. The left-hander, Kroll, brings it. And it's a fastball on the outside corner. 0-2.
You know what also works in Kroll's favor is he looks ahead to probably tonight. Watch his delivery. It is very, very simple and no herky-jerk motion at all.
And that went off the net in front of us.
We'd had a better shot at that one.
Yeah, and, the thing, too, about Kroll is he throws a combination of pitches. It's not just power, although he's got a fastball that's got to be getting in the upper 80s, if not close to 90. But he mixes it with a changeup, good breaking pitch, and he went high heat and got a swing and a miss from Keck. Strikeout number 9 for Caden Kroll of Valparaiso. And there's 2 outs, bases empty for Snider. Bottom of the 5th inning for Noah Hess.
Now up to bat number 17, Noah Hess.
Snider's lone base runner to this point.
Drew a leadoff walk in the 3rd. And that fastball right on the outside corner. That's the other thing about Kroll. He doesn't leave too many pitches mid-zone. Inside, outside works both sides of the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup with the 0-1, and that's a slider that slides off the outside corner and evens the count. 1-1 on Hess.
Doesn't overthink it either. He takes the ball, throws, gets it back, takes it, throws.
The set, the 1-1. Swing and a miss at a fastball elevated in the zone, and Kroll ahead of Hess, 0-2. The set, the pitch, breaking ball off the plate, and Hess did not extend the zone. It's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's outside, 3-2. Well, another good at bat by Noah Hess. As you said, Dean, he drew a walk his only time up there. Now 3-2 count. We haven't seen too many 3-ball counts. And the pitch. How about that? Ball 4, low and outside, and Snider has had 2 base runners all day, both by walk, and both of them to Noah Hess.
You got to think of probably this doesn't play too much into it, but that's the starting pitcher for Snider. So he's probably been looking at this guy, thinking some things, and okay, he's doing this, I'll not do that. And he's been on base twice with a walk.
Foul tip off the catcher and toward the Snider dugout on the first base side to get ahead of Trevor Jarvis, 0-1. Jarvis, a strikeout victim, one of the 9 Ks recorded by Kroll. Snider batting, bottom of the 5th, 2 outs, runner at first, and the pitch. Change up, catches the outside corner, and Jarvis just watched it. He's in an 0-2 hole. Defense straight away for Jarvis, Panthers left fielder. The set and the pitch. Fouled straight back. He was right on that fastball. Snider, no runs, no hits. Batting bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. The set by Kroll and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10 on the game for Caden Kroll. And Valparaiso still on top of the Snider Panthers by a touchdown. It's 7-0 Valparaiso over Snider in the baseball semi-state semifinal here in South Bend on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. It's going to be the star of the day, leading off things in the sixth for Valparaiso. Caden Kroll, the pitcher. And a swing and a miss at a fastball from Landon Fry. 0-1.
A telling thing about this game, the Goshen coaches who have been charting pitches behind here, and the Goshen plays in the second game, just left. They've seen enough.
The 0-1 is a fastball high and outside to even it up on Kroll, who's reached base every time as a hitter. A couple of walks and a single. He scored twice. And a changeup just a little low and outside, didn't miss by much.
I think they call that helping yourself.
Yeah. He's gotten a lot of help from his teammates, too. They lead at 7-0, batting in the top of the sixth. And that is a called strike. That might have been a little further down and out than the pitch before, but benefited the call for Fry, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, and it's right back to Fry on one hop. He got a glove up to knock it down, and then collects it, throws to first, and it's a 1-3 put out. For the first time today, Kroll does not reach base. 1 out, nobody on for Adler Holtz. Well, Holtz a couple of hits, also a fly ball to center. He's 2 for 3. Right-handed hitter to face the right-handed pitcher. Slow breaking ball and a foul tip off of Moorman and back to the track behind home. Max Ream, the on-deck hitter, trots over to collect it. And the pitch, just a little high. Fry, the third pitcher of the day for the Snider Panthers. Big breaking ball, loops in for a strike. He's ahead of Holtz, 1-2. Noah Hess started. Then it was William Meeks. Came on in the fourth. It was Fry moving in from shortstop. Curveball misses, evens the count 2-2. Now the set and the pitch. And he reaches out, protects the outside corner, and it goes foul into the right field seats. Valparaiso looking for their 24th win against 4 losses. And this one in the air, center. Camping under it, Brandon Logan. Medium center. He'll make the catch almost in the spot he started.
Next up.
That's out number 2 in the top of the sixth.
Max Ream.
Bases are empty for Max Ream, the Vikings catcher, who hit a sacrifice fly to pick up an RBI in the first. Reached on an error, a big one in right field in the third, and singled in the fourth. First pitch, curveball, lifted in the air again to right field. Morrow makes the catch, and the side retired. Down 1-2-3 go the Valparaiso Vikings in the top of the sixth inning, but a 7-0 lead for Valparaiso over Snider. As Snider comes to bat in the bottom of the sixth. Next, this is high school baseball, the Class 4A semi-state semifinal on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Panthers have work to do offensively. They are trailing 7-0 to the Valparaiso Vikings, and with a no-hitter intact, they will keep Caden Kroll on the mound. Got to be a little bit of a tough decision for Valparaiso head coach Todd Evans. You've got a kid throwing a no-hitter. He's got a gem going. But again, based on pitch count, you'd like to have a couple of innings available from him if you need him tonight.
You know what? I think this is a kid that probably would figure, if I have to come out now, and well, the lead is not that big, Brett. It's not, if it was a little bigger, I would say they would have moved him out of there a long time ago. But for the greater good, he could see the benefit of him coming out.
Snider will start with a pinch hitter here in the bottom of the sixth inning, and hitting for freshman Raiden Morrow in the 9th spot. It is Jaden Garcia. Garcia, right-handed batter against the left-hander. And the pitch. Swing and a miss puts him in an 0-2 hole.
You know, another scenario I could see here. Say Kroll gives up a hit. Then I think you go get him.
The 0-2. Outside, ball 1. After Garcia, it goes to the top of the order. Brandon Logan, who's had a tough day. A couple of at-bats and a couple of strikeouts for Logan. He gets loose in the on-deck circle. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch, and that's grounded to second. Malloy with the scoop and the toss. And there's one away. He's made it through 5 1/3 of near-perfect baseball.
Number 4,
Noah Hess, the Snider starting pitcher, didn't get at-bats today. It would be perfect. Hess has walked twice. It's the only Panther to reach base. 10 strikeouts through the first 5 for Valparaiso's Caden Kroll. Logan into the right-handed batter's box. And the pitch. And a little chop foul behind home. We talked about Logan being a highly sought-after player and possibly a draft pick, but he's got a chance to play both football and baseball at Notre Dame. Just gives you an idea what kind of athlete he is. He takes a pitch away to even the count 1-1.
The skinny I've heard on him, though, is he realizes the longevity might be in baseball, and that might be the way he goes. The way he leans.
I just think of the dream of the experience of Notre Dame football and passing that up. That pitch high and outside, it's 2-1 on Logan.
Some guy from Valpo pulled that off and did very well in the Major League. Guy by the name of Samardzija.
Yep, Jeff Samardzija. The 2-1. And that's chopped foul. Goes over toward the Valparaiso dugout on the third base side.
Recall him becoming a pretty good Major League pitcher, but boy, what a great receiver he was.
We'll give you the spelling test after Logan bats.
Good luck.
Here's the 2-2. Up the middle of the diamond, a chopper over his shortstop, Trent Gill. Quick throw to get the speedy Logan, and he got him. Boy, you've got to really get to that ball quickly on that high chopper. Field it and throw it on the run, and Gill did it perfectly to retire Logan on a 6-3 putout. There's 2 outs, bases empty, and still a no-no for Caden Kroll.
I'm not sure any other Snider player would have made that even close. But he flies.
Cam Davis with 2 outs. And that's right off the end of the bat. High stepping out of the way is the on-deck hitter Landon Fry.
At least he was paying attention.
0-1 on Davis. Davis also 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And he chops it to third and foul.
You know, that probably replicates the line of a lot of Snider hitters today.
Well, so far, you've got 4 hitters that are 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Logan, but he broke that with that ground out. Davis is 0 for 2. Snavely 0 for 2. And Jarvis 0 for 2, all with strikeouts. 10 of them so far in the game for Kroll. And a swing and a miss. Let's make it 11. And it's the hat trick on Davis. 11 Ks through 6. 3 outs away from a no-hitter in a semi-state semifinal for Caden Kroll. Valparaiso leads at 7-0 over the Panthers on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Last inning for high school baseball. We move to the 7th at Valparaiso, a 7-0 lead over the Snider Panthers, as Valparaiso will send up hitters 7, 8, and 9, the bottom third of the order, to face Landon Fry. And the first pitch in the air and foul on the first base side. It's out of play. DJ Malloy, Drayden Wilcox, and Matt Sivanich, the three hitters. The 0-1. Big breaking ball, but it broke around the inside corner. Evens the count 1-1 on Malloy, who is 1 for 3. Single back in the first, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice. The pitch, little looper into right center, and that will drop. Even the speedy Brandon Logan couldn't outrun that one as it drops in for a hit. That's the 8th hit of the game for Valparaiso, and the leadoff man aboard here in the 7th against Snider. It's Valparaiso. I don't know if they really need insurance, but they look to add some.
You never have enough. Never have enough.
Drayden Wilcox.
Although with Kroll, that might not apply.
I mean, we've said it before. In the first pitch to Wilcox is a called strike on the outside corner. The Kroll on the year has given up 3 runs and 2 earned. And that's through 8 games and 41 innings. And another strike at the knees on the outside corner. And quickly, Landon Fry is ahead of Drayden Wilcox, the number 8 hitter, and the DH for Valparaiso, 0-2. The set. And the 0-2 pitch. And it's grounded, could be 2 to second. Rowe to Davis. The relay throw in time. 4-6-3 double play. Snider shows off the leather and turns the double play. Bases empty for Matt Sabanich.
Might have been one of Snider's best plays of the game.
Definitely think that's one of the positives they can take away is Rowe, who came into the game when Landon Fry came in from shortstop to pitch. Pam Davis moved over to short, but that was a great relay. And the first pitch to Matt Sabanich is foul tip. And another one on the second pitch. It's 0-2 quickly on Sabanich.
Well, the pickup and the dish to second base was pretty flawless, too.
The 0-2 is downstairs. Actually, it is 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch. And that's grounded to first. Hess on the bounce, scoops it, steps on the bag himself. And that will end the top of the 7th. Snider with some work to do with their last crack to do it. They trail Valparaiso 7-0 here in the semi-state semifinal, heading to the bottom of the last inning next on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. To the bottom of the 7th, a 7-0 Valparaiso lead, but you have to go to the next line on the line score, and that is the hits column. Snider without a hit against left-hander Caden Kroll. Kroll has been fantastic. He came in already with a 0.34 earned run average, and I can't tell you how hard it is to take a 0.34 ERA and lower it. And so far, that's all Kroll has done over the first 6 innings. He has struck out 11 and got 6 ground balls. That's 17 of the 18 outs. The only ball hit to the outfield was a fly ball by Landon Fry. And Fry leads off the bottom of the 7th. And the first pitch, a fastball on the outside corner. And Kroll is ahead 0-1.
And again, the only 2 base runners, walks. Both
to the same guy, yeah. The stretch, the 0-1. Just outside. Tried to go to the same spot. Maybe try to get Fry to reach out on a pitch about 3 inches off the outer corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fry 0 for 2, but he had contact both times. Swing and a miss. Went right back outside with that fastball. The tail's away. And he's ahead of Fry 1-2.
Curiosity at the end of the game. I'm going to go and ask how many pitches he's thrown.
The pitch, and it's hit hard to second base, but on one hop, it is right at DJ Malloy. He'll throw to first, 1 away. Well, the pitch count on the board says 91, or is it 95? They usually post it, and he's got 95 pitches. That was 91 miles per hour on the fastball. It could have been 91 off the bat because that was rocketed by Fry, but one away for Isaiah Snavely. Lefty-lefty matchup. Snavely 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike one. 2 outs from a no-hitter at the semi-state for Caden Kroll. Pitch, and that's hit on the ground to second. Malloy over to his left, fields it, throws, 2-away. A pair of ground outs to second. That's 8 ground outs, 11 strikeouts for Caden Kroll, who has Jack Mormon as the last chance for a Snider hit. Mormon, a right-handed hitter. And the pitch, taken for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
He has total command still out there.
Gets the sign. Brings the 0-1. In the air and foul, out of play. 1 strike away. 7-0. Valparaiso leads it. Kroll looking to finish off a no-no. The 0-2. Foul tip back to the screen. Kroll, a senior left-hander for the Vikings. Mormon, a senior catcher with a .370 average, 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. The 0-2 pitch just missed. One ball, 2 strikes. Just off the outer edge. The pitch, that's a fastball airmailed up high. A little overexcited on that 92-mile-per-hour heater from Kroll. The stretch. And the 2-2. And that is on the outside corner. A call, strike 3. It's a no-hitter for Caden Kroll. He celebrates on the mound with his Valparaiso teammates as Valparaiso completely shuts the door on the Snider offense here at the semi-state. And the Panthers fall 7-0. Caden Kroll, the story. His 12th K finishes the game. Only 1 ball hit out of the infield. And only 1 batter actually reached, but he reached twice. Noah Hess drew 2 walks, and that's the only damage done by the Snider offense against Caden Kroll. Just a dominant performance.
All you can call this is a tip-your-hat game. You go out of number 7, who just was masterful out on that mound. Tip your hat, Caden Kroll. You just pitched a great game, and there was nothing Snider could do about it.
Valparaiso has ridden the left arm of Caden Kroll through the sectional, the regional, and now heading to a semi-state championship tonight where they will meet the winner of Westfield Goshen. And Goshen, the team that shocked everybody in getting here, a team with a sub-500 record of the season, knocked off a 1-loss Penn team a week ago to claim a regional. And Westfield Goshen will play coming up at 2 o'clock, just over an hour away. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will put the wraps on this one, tell you how it got to a 7-0 final as Valparaiso wins the semi-state semifinal against the Snider Panthers. This is high school baseball presented by PSM Baseball Academy on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. A left-hander from the Valparaiso Vikings that was topping 90 miles per hour with the fastball just danced and worked his way through this Snider lineup and pitches a no-hitter in the semi-state semifinal, and the Valparaiso Vikings defeat the Snider Panthers 7-0. And Caden Kroll still celebrating.
Well, he's posing for a lot of pictures right now in front of those fans, and rightfully so. And one of them down there, I'm sure, with the Kroll on the back of her jersey, I will bet dollars to donuts that that's Mom, and she's been snapping pictures since the end of the game.
Well, I tell you, after watching that performance, I might leave here with a Kroll on the back of my jersey. I'll just have to add the name because that was just an absolute gem. And it wasn't just that 91-mile-per-hour fastball. It was a combination of the breaking pitch and this hard slider. I mean, he really pitched a great game and kept it off the middle of the plate, too. I mean, we saw him go corner to corner, inside to outside. Just a real gem.
An executed plan perfectly by that young man because he had a plan for every batter. He had a plan for every pitch. And it one right after the other, except the 2 walks he gave up to Hess. They had no clue. They didn't know what was coming.
And the thing is, Snider is kind of known as a really good offensive team. I mean, you look at this lineup, and they've got a couple of guys that hit 400. They've got everybody else hitting 300. And yet it's some of the best hitters in this Snider lineup that Kroll was at his best. And I think that was really the key. Brandon Logan, a 402 average coming into the game, and he struck out his first 2 times up. Cam Davis, a senior, plays his final game for the Snider Panthers, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Isaiah Snavely, who hit 370 this year, had strikeouts his first 2 times up to the plate. And then Trevor Jarvis, a outfielder for the Panthers, also a couple of strikeouts. 12 in total for Caden Kroll, and he put the exclamation point on this victory. This no-hitter with a strikeout of Jack Moorman caught looking to end the game. And Snider really had this one decided in the top of the first inning. Noah Hess, not his best day. He came in 6-0 on the season, but 3 runs right off the top of the first for Valparaiso, and before Snider even had an at-bat, you could say that the hill was already too high to climb.
Well, he got the first man reached on a base hit, and then he got a fly ball, and then the next 4 guys caused damage.
Yep.
And that was it.
In fact, you could say the next 5 with a walk, a couple of singles, a sacrifice fly, and another single. So Valparaiso puts up 3 in the first. They had a 3-0 lead until the third. They added 3 more unearned after a fly ball to right was just misjudged and dropped in front of the Snider right fielder. That made it 6-0. And the way Kroll was going, you kind of had a feeling the game was over at that point. But eventually, Valparaiso added another run in the fourth, a 7-0 lead. And even though Landon Fry had a heck of a performance out of the Snider bullpen, I mean, that was really a gem that he threw, and you got to give credit where credit is due. Fry came into a difficult situation against a very confident offense, and he pretty much shut the door on Valparaiso, but the damage had already been done, and the Snider offense pretty much went quietly.
Well, the issue was that, they were in that hole because you look at, it was pretty quiet after the third inning as far as Valparaiso was concerned offensively, but the situation ended up being Snider couldn't score. Snider couldn't hit the ball, and that was all Mr. Kroll. And again, this is a top tip your hat day for him. What a performance.
And what a season for Snider. I'd like to point out some of the offensive highlights for Snider, but quite honestly, there were none. Unless you go to Noah Hess, Snider's starting pitcher, who was up twice and walked both times. He was the only Snider player in the lineup to reach base, as he was 0 for 0 with 2 walks. But other than that, you got to give credit to Caden Kroll for just mowing through this Panthers lineup. Snider sees their season finish with a 24-7 record. But still plenty of highlights and a lot to be proud of for the Snider Panthers.
They got here, didn't they, Brett?
Yeah.
And that takes some doing.
The regional championship trophy. They also had a really good mark in the SAC, because to go 14-0 in the conference, that really says something. That means you're beating almost everybody's best pitcher. That to me is a real highlight, to run the slate 14-0 in winning the SAC race. So congratulations on what was an outstanding season for the Snider Panthers. But today they just ran into a pitcher that was better than they were. And you've got to, as you said, Dean, got to tip your cap to Caden Kroll and the job he did for Valparaiso.
And knowing Josh Klinkenbeard as I have, that's exactly what he's telling his kids right now.
Yeah.
Nothing to be ashamed of. That kid was outstanding. You put your best. We got here, which is the bottom line on this whole thing. And let's hang our hat on that.
Well, and it'll be interesting for Valparaiso to see, because now they're going to have to count on their number 2 for tonight against either Westfield or Goshen, who will play coming up in about an hour from now. Well, that will officially put the wraps on our season of high school baseball. We've kind of gone week by week, not really sure what the schedule would be or who would be available or if we would be able to continue with our broadcast. But a big thanks to management at 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Josh Williams, the program director. Joel Pyle, the sales manager, and, of course, Ben Sauer, the market manager, for giving us the green light. And we couldn't have done it without the support of our sponsors. That's what makes it go. We can build a great engine, but without the right fuel, the car will sit idly in the garage. And so we've got to thank PSM Baseball Academy with Josh Van Meter. If you're looking for any kind of advancement in your skills training, be sure to contact PSM Baseball Academy. Also, our good buddy Ben Smith at Midwest Box Breaks. And I'll tell you what, get back into the hobby and start getting your baseball cards, maybe even football or basketball. Maybe you'd like to collect some other cards. You can do that with Midwest Box Breaks. You can check out everything Midwest Box Breaks on their website at midwestboxbreaks.net and get involved with one of their auctions. They're going on usually 2 or 3 times a day. Midwest Box Breaks. Also, Old Fort Baseball Company and Logan Weening does a great job with Old Fort Baseball Company. And right now, the big event, which started last year, and it was such a success, it's happening again this year. It's the Vintage Baseball Classic coming to Lawton Park on June 28th. And you can go to oldfortbaseballco.com and get information online about the Vintage Baseball Classic, or look them up on social media at the Old Fort Baseball Company. Big thanks, Dean, to you. And
appreciate the opportunity to do this, Brett. It's very enjoyable.
And for those that don't know, Dean has had some health issues, and it's good to see that he is on the track to full recovery. And I'm glad he was healthy enough to join us here for high school baseball. But continue best wishes as you progress to 100% health.
Working on it and winning the battle so far, and that's all you can ask for.
I am Brett Rump, and thanks to Adam Lundy, who's been our studio producer each and every week as we've brought you games. He's been the unsung hero behind the scenes, pushing the buttons back at the 1380 The Fan Studios. Also, we do want to hear from you. It's very important that we get your feedback on our high school baseball broadcast. This was the first year to bring you high school baseball on Saturdays. We'd like to know candidly what you've thought of the broadcast, and if you'd like to see them continue. Those kind of comments do make an impression, and we'd love to hear from you. You can text us 260-447-8500, 260-447-8500, or you can tag us at 1380 The Fan on social media. But we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide for our high school baseball. I am Brett Rump, and that does it here from South Bend at Four Winds Field at Kovaleski Stadium. It's the Valparaiso Vikings advancing in tonight's semi-state championship game with a 7-0 win over the Snider Panthers. Hope you've enjoyed our season of high school baseball, being presented by PSM Baseball Academy on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.